We have an assignment this week of creating an application in which the user can tap one of 24 different text views to change a bit in a 24-bit color system from 0 to 1. And so I wanted to have for these text views a stroke around the text view just to help set these apart a little bit rather than to have them all blend in together one after the other. So there's not a border or a stroke property for a text view in Android Studio. The way around that is to create an XML shape as a drawable, and we can apply that as the background. So here is how I fixed that issue. I went to my resources, and in the drawable folder I created 3 XML files, one stroke red, stroke green, and stroke blue. Let's take a look at that stroke blue. So, and to create the file, you can simply go to the resource manager, click the plus sign, go to drawable resource file, and you can give it a name. So I called it stroke blue, and then I simply added this XML code. So I'm creating a shape object that is of a rectangle, and it includes a gradient and a stroke. So those are attributes of the shape. So the gradient attribute contains the angle. So an angle of 135 degrees is going to go from the bottom right to the top left. It's going to start with a color of 0000FF. That's a solid bright blue. That's blue set at 255 and red and green channels set to nothing. And then it's going to end with a much lighter blue. My end color here is BBBBFF. So the red and green channels are not all the way up, but they're pretty high. And then the blue is still all the way up, so that gives me a lighter blue. Then I also added a stroke. And I can specify the width of the stroke. I just did 3dp. I didn't want a really wide stroke. And then gave it a color. And this 000000, of course, is black. So that's my shape. Did the same thing for the stroke red. The only difference was actually I copied and pasted. Started with the stroke red and copied and pasted the others. So the stroke red is basically the same thing. All I did was change which of these letters for the red channel was FF and made the blue channel BB, and then FF00, and everything else was the same. And so I named that one stroke red and then did the same thing for stroke green. So fairly easy to set those up. You could do any color you wanted. Any type of gradient. You could go from a blue to a green, a red to a purple, whatever. But it's a neat way to set up kind of a real pleasing gradient and to add a stroke to an object. So then in my activity landscape, I'm just going to do both these at the same time. I'm going to select these, and I'm going to set the background, and I'm going to click the bar at the far right, and I'm going to choose stroke red. So then it's my background, and because I thought the white text would look better on this red background versus the green, I wanted to stay black, and the blue I kept set as white. I'm going to set the text color to white. So again, you can select multiple objects just by dragging through them. I could select the background and the text color all at the same time for all those objects. This, of course, is set up as a horizontal chain in my project. We'll look at that in a future video, and I applied the same gradients to the value text views for the decimal values. If you just jumped into this video, you can see all the videos from the Android App Development Cohort playlist by clicking on the image in the lower right. And if you'd like to be alerted to future videos that I create, you can click my picture up in the top right and subscribe to the channel.